Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of TalkingWithHeroes.com talk show program. I am Bob Calvert, your host. Anna Sophie Hickson behind the camera. And we're back here with Charlie Company. For those of you who've been following the videos, watching the previous ones, we're here in Basrah, still Iraq, with Charlie Company. And before we get started, I want to thank the people that made this trip possible. Without them, we could not have come back this quick since my last trip just a few months ago to Afghanistan. Blackhawk.com, Newsblaze.com, MilitaryConnection.com, FreedomHunters.org, LauraBurgess.com, Number5Jump.com, SoldiersAngels.org, and BroadbandForAmerica.com. And like I said, we're back here with Charlie Company, second of the 285th Assault Helicopter Battalion, North Dakota, Utah, and Arizona National Guard soldiers. And to start this segment, I'm going to introduce Chief Warrant Officer 3, Andy Lovejoy. Welcome to Talking with Heroes, sir.
Thank you. Blackhawk is your one of your sponsors. This is one of the Blackhawk holsters.
Oh, really?
So it's
cool.
Very versatile. I like it.
Is it have you had another one that you replaced it with, or?
I had a Blackhawk thigh rig actually that I would carry.
Okay.
But I couldn't get in his pocket very well, so I bought this one, and it works great on my belt, and then I take it and stick it on my flight vest too. So
Excellent.
It's awesome. It's versatile.
Great. Thanks for bringing that up. Why don't you tell the people watching this video now a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how long you've served?
I've been in for 14 years, National Guard, all 14 years National Guard. Currently living in Ogden, Utah, and I'm the maintenance test pilot in Charlie Company, 2nd and 25th.
So now, in your first deployment, you were in Balad, right? And
Yeah.
you were a pilot?
Yeah, I was in Balad. I was just a regular line pilot and flew a lot of really fun missions. This time as the maintenance test pilot, it's a totally different ballgame. So I get to do a lot of maintenance on the aircraft. It's something I love to do. If I could do it the rest of my life, I would. So I wake up and look forward to going to work every day.
So once you complete the maintenance, then you get to go out and test it?
Yeah, my crew chiefs, they'll do the maintenance on it.
Oh, okay.
And then I go out and make sure that it's working the way it's supposed to work.
So I imagine sometimes you might be flying it a little different than if you had passengers, right? To make sure everything's okay?
Yeah, no passengers.
No passengers.
Yep, say a little prayer before I take off.
Yeah, well, I always do that. Any plane I get on. Well, that's interesting. And so you've been here, what, almost a year now?
Yes.
Okay. Getting ready to go home soon?
Yes.
Cool.
Counting down the days.
Okay. From the time you got here till like now, is there any differences you've seen, any progress that you've seen, even if it's just amongst your troops?
Yes and no. I guess they still rocket us quite frequently. You know, the insurgents are still very active. There's still a pretty good threat out there, and being an aviator, I have a very sanitized version of the war. The guys that are on the ground, the guys that go out in convoys every single day, my hat's off to those guys. You know, I would be stressed out if I had to worry about a roadside bomb all the time. So I feel relatively safe in a helicopter, but it seems that it may have slowed down a little bit, but it's still a dangerous place to be. And as far as political goes, I don't know. It was good to see their elections. It's good to see that happen. So, but we'll see if they can get past all the corruption that just seems to be rampant in this country. So.
And of course, when we got here in the country, first thing we heard is about the combat troops were all coming home. But yet, when you're flying in that helicopter, everyone we've been in, there's a gunner on each side.
Oh yeah.
And so people need to know back home that you're still here, you're helping, but you still have to protect yourself and defend yourselves.
I mean, September 1st is going to come and go.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change the way I fly. It's not
Right.
going to change the way that I think. It's not going to change the way that I operate.
And this New Dawn, these New Dawn words that they're announcing, I guess there's a big speech tomorrow. This has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, progress didn't just start right away.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. This is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. From over years.
Yes.
Okay. You shared something a little bit kind of interesting, something your wife does that was fascinating. I've never heard anything like it before.
Well, this kind of, it's a long story, I guess. Last time I was here, we did candy bombs. We would drop little bags of candy out to these kids, and it was kind of fun, and it was neat to see them run and chase down the candy as we drop it, and they could see it coming out of the sky. And this time around, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more beneficial. You know, I've got two brothers who are dentists, and so when I think of candy, I think of tooth decay, and they don't really have a good dental plan here. So I talked to my wife about it. I said, hey, you know what? It'd be great if we could do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put clothing in bags. And back home, my wife is she helps organize activities for the women's group in our church. And she presented that to the women's group, and they loved it. They ran with it. So she organized it. They collected clothes. People donated money to ship the packages and stuff over. So once they gathered all the clothes together, they brought them to the church, and the women's group packaged them all, put streamers on them, and then we boxed them up, and while I was home on leave, we mailed them over here. We mailed 8 boxes that weighed about 65 pounds each. I would love to tell my wife that I love her very much. I miss her. I miss my kids, Jordan and Braden, and Michaela and Carson, and I can't wait to get home and see you guys. So I'm looking forward to it. And I would also like to thank everybody at the church that helped organize that clothing drop. A lot of work went into that, and other people that donated money as well. So we couldn't have done it without them.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your service to our country.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And, I'd say we're going up to North Dakota. But it'd be nice somehow to see your family, or maybe even the church sometime up in Utah. Come up and do a program on there or something.
Yeah.
It's really neat what they're doing. And your wife.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Well, folks, once again, you're hearing it on TalkingWithHeroes.com here in Iraq, and we have more coming. So take these videos that you're watching, let others know about it. Let's really get the word out to millions of people, so we hear it from our troops about New Dawn. We hear it from our troops about the progress that's been happening, not just now, but for a long time. And they're still going to be here. They still need your support. And we'll be back with more here in Iraq on TalkingWithHeroes.com.